why did you guys choose to name your brand in such a personal way instead of choosing something more general or like going for for example, I'm just saying whatever comes to my mind, but like elegance, private dining, or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I think in my case, like I'm an army of one is what I always say. And I rarely ever have a second set of hands. So my brand is just me. And like, I think inevitably that's what you're selling in private dining is the experience of you're interacting with the chef. The food is going from the chef's hands to you. It's not going through a server or a busboy. And like, you can see me make it. You can discuss with me what I made for you. And I think people tend to recognize like how special that is in private dining and how unique it is. But like that's the reason why I call myself Chef Will Cooks is that's what I do. Like I'm not really ever trying to sell any direct menu to someone. I'm trying to sell the experience of let me come to you and do this for you. This is a service.
Yeah, so in my experience, I'm not entirely the OCF is not entirely up to Chef Vic, but like my brand is called Chef Diaries, so I always leave room for other chefs because I'm someone who likes to collaborate with a lot of people. I always want to work with other chefs. So the reason why chef, sometimes it's like I've got menus that I can make that I'm confident with. So yeah, down in South Africa, it's a diverse community. There are a lot of groups of people. There are Americans. Almost each and everyone is here, especially in Cape Town. In the season, there are a lot of tourists. So if someone, I want Asian food. I know I have Chef Wendy, I have Chef Tanda, I know the chef that are to make that. Of course, I will be the face of the night, but I always tell them our menu tonight is going to be inspired with our Chef Tanda. It's going to make this and this is very. I will give them confidence that this chef is very good in this kind of cuisine that they choose. So I always do that because I don't want to limit myself. Someone will come and say we want Caribbean food, then at the end of the day, I'm saying no, I don't know how to make Caribbean food, and sometimes they are like my regular guests or regular clients. So I always want to make them at home, make them feel at home, yeah, all the time.
That's super interesting as well. I love that.
I personally come to realize that you're selling yourself ultimately. You're selling your views and how you cook and everything like that. And it's actually funny because I got lucky with my initials actually rhyming with private chef, so it's also a reason why I named it DF Private Chef. And my last name's Ferragamo, which is super Italian, so it sounds fancy and this and that. So I kind of always wanted to include it somehow, but not have it be the name of the brand. But in my opinion, your customers are buying you and they want to know more about you and things like that. I have so many people that end up following my Instagram that don't even care about the cooking at that point. I play drums, I do video work, I do gardening, I do like really cool videos all day. I have like I post daily about what I'm doing, like day in the life stuff, and majority sometimes it might not even be food based, and that's where you get the most interaction because you're showing your customers that, hey, like I'm just a human, or I'm not a restaurant. We're not going to dial things in perfectly. We're going to make everything custom so that they get to really get an insight into your life. And in my opinion, that seems to be the best way for me to sell myself to clients. So I've always merged it together sort of a little bit like that. And people really like to, hear my band play, and I'll go to someone's house after cooking for them a few times, and I won't forget this. When the son liked one of the songs, and she would always ask me to play it, and the son would be like just dancing around on the floor. So like you really get to sell yourself, and it becomes more than just food. Again, you're selling an experience. You're selling way more than just food. Food's going to be here before and after you leave. I don't want it to hold that much power, which sounds kind of awful as a private chef. I want there to be more to it.